right? I'm going to share a little story with you. This story is about somebody you don't hear much about. Joachim, Mary's father, arrived in Bethlehem after the birth of the child. He found his way to the stable, saw the shepherds and the wise men in place, saw Joseph standing in the background, embraced his daughter, and then looked in the manger. He picked up the child, cradled him in his arms, and then he spoke. "Hello, little one. This is Joachim. I am your grandfather." So they named you Jesus. What a fine name for a boy. No wonder your mother is so happy. And Joseph, look at how proud he stands. You have good parents, little boy, and they are lucky to have a son like you. I wanted to be there to welcome you into the world, but the journey from Nazareth is a long one, and it was very slow. But I'm here now, and you are too, and we both arrived safely. I would never have expected to find you in a place like this, a stable where animals live. You should have been born in your home with those who love you nearby. But this is a warm place, and there is love here too. And you are beautiful and healthy, and that is most important. I want you to know that I had gifts for you. All the way from Nazareth, I brought gifts for my grandson. But now, when I come to your birthbed, I come with empty hands, with nothing to make your new life easier. But I know you will understand. You see, when we were passing Jerusalem on the road to Bethlehem, a small girl stood near the road selling barley cakes to travelers in the caravan. A Roman soldier rushed by on his horse and knocked the child to the ground. The barley cakes scattered in the dust. The child was frightened, but not hurt. She was crying, though, so I stopped to comfort her. She was crying, it seemed, not from being knocked to the ground, but because the barley cakes were now too dirty to sell. And now, without selling the cakes, she could not buy flour for her mother to bake for tomorrow. So, little one, I gave the child one of your gifts. I gave her the newly harvested grain that your grandmother Anna sent you. How your grandmother will love you, little grandson. She wanted you to have the grain she and I planted, and tended, and reaped just for you. But the poor little girl in Jerusalem needed it, so I could not have passed her by. I know that someday you will understand how it was. When you grow up, you will want to help poor people, and I know you will share what you have with others. And then when we were almost to Bethlehem, a young shepherd boy stopped the caravan. He had lost a lamb, which was too young to be away from the flock. He asked if we had seen it. We told him we had not, and then he asked if we would help him find it. Well, the caravan couldn't stop, and there was no one else who had the time, it seemed. So I stopped to help the boy. It must be hard to lose a lamb, one which is too small to be out on its own. So all during the hot afternoon, the boy and I walked over the dusty hills above the town. We looked everywhere, and we finally did find the little lamb. We wondered how it had strayed so far from the flock. We found it caught in a briar bush back up on the hills. After we got it free, and were feeling very happy that we did find the lamb, the young shepherd and I used another of your gifts, little one. We drank the new wine that I had brought to celebrate your birth. In a way, we were celebrating finding a lost lamb. When you grow up, maybe you will be a shepherd, and maybe you will look for lost lambs that stray from the flock. Know that when you find them, you will want to celebrate too. And I hope that you will have new wine and drink it when you bring helpless lambs home. The boy and the lamb came with me, and when we reached Bethlehem, it was dark. We passed an old man lying on the road and on the side of on the ground on the side of the road as we came into town. We passed him, but he called to us, and we went to him. We helped him to his feet, and we discovered that he was blind. He had wounded his head when he fell, and he was bleeding. He said that he had been beside the road for a long time, and that no one had stopped. And little grandson, all that I had to bind his wound was the gift that your grandmother had made for you, your birth cloth. I grew the flax, and your grandmother spun the thread and wove the cloth, a fine linen cloth to wrap you in. But the old man needed it. I know you will understand someday that when people are hurt, you must do what you can to comfort them. You will do such things when you grow up. But that was my special gift to you, and now I have nothing to wrap you in. I did have one more gift. All the way from Nazareth, I brought a perfect white dove for Mary, your mother. You see, when a baby is born, the mother takes a gift to the temple to celebrate and give thanks for the baby's birth. Your grandmother Anna and I went to the marketplace in Nazareth and selected a perfect white dove for Mary to take to the temple. But when the young shepherd and I helped the old man to his feet, the cage slipped from my hand and fell to the ground. It broke, and the dove flew away. We chased it and we tried to catch it, but a strange thing happened. The dove circled our heads and flew off, and when we followed it, it led us to this place. The beautiful white dove led me, your grandfather, to your rough manger bed. So I didn't lose a temple dove. I found my grandson. Do you see that bright light up there? That's a star, you know, and it's shining for you. Everyone for miles around can see that something wonderful has happened in Bethlehem tonight. My grandson has been born. Do you see those wise men standing over there? They read signs in the heavens months ago telling them that you would be born here today. They came from lands far to the east. They've brought you rich gifts, much richer than mine were. You should have gifts like these to celebrate being born. These wise men knew how special you were going to be. But little Jesus, I do not need special gifts to show you that I love you. No gift is larger than the heart full of love that I have for you this night. No gift is more precious than your old grandfather's prayers that will be with you wherever you go. And nothing I or anyone could give could take the place of what you already have. A family that loves you and cares for you, who will teach you all the right things and help you grow up to be a good man. These things are more important than any gifts I could make for you or buy for you. Someday, you're going to be grown up and you will be strong. and you will care for others and help anyone who needs you. These gifts are born in you and will be with you always. And when you grow up, you will share your gifts with people who are hungry or lost or hurt. Oh, your grandfather talks on and on. But look how you sleep in my arms. You look like a prince of peace, little boy. Wear your crown well, little baby. And while you sleep, the star will shine in the heavens over you. The wise men and the shepherds and their animals will be here. Joseph and your sweet mother Mary will stay by your little manger bed. And I, Joachim, your grandfather, who brought you no other gifts, give you my love to cover you like a warm blanket. My hand will be near it when you need it, and my arms are ready to hold you and to keep you safe. Sweet little prince, sleep well, for tomorrow comes all too soon. Thank you, girls. Let us stand and sing together number 137. What child